If you have a scrap and you can't put it in the recycling bin and empty it, then you actually like your edit.
Right.
You like it enough to not delete it. Don't tell me but it's a learning thing and I'm gonna look back. No, you're not gonna look back at it. You're gonna put it in a hard drive and never think about it ever again. Or you will think about it ever again. You know why? Because you like the edit.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Uneducation Station. Of course, my name is Zach, and I'm here with my hostess with the mostest, Arthur. Welcome back to the Uned Podcast. Yeah.
Podcast. Yes, welcome back.
Sunday.
It's actually Monday right now. Wait, dude, I can't even remember anymore. Oh no, it is gonna be Monday. It is Monday. That doesn't work.
That's better than like Wednesday.
Those who don't want Europeans are incredibly confused.
They live in the future.
They do live in the future.
Anyways.
And they watch a sport that is so fucking boring.
Are you talking about soccer?
Oh,
Football?
Football. I'm joking. I enjoy a game of soccer every now and then.
I thought you were talking about like cricket, and I was like, nah.
Oh, cricket is kind of fire in a way. I might start watching golf, so in my eyes, cricket is like just golf but roided.
It's like if
wait, is that one on horses?
No, that's
Or do you mean the cricket
where it's basically like baseball but with the really big thick stick?
Yeah.
And then they're just like the
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's like golf, but if they were taking testosterone.
Yeah.
Roid filled golf.
Yeah. I don't know. I just couldn't imagine going to a game, a sporting event, and leaving at a 0-0 tie. I don't know. for staying for 2 hours. Like, wow, none of them scored. Yes, let's go. I'm just joking, by the way. I'm joking. I enjoy watching soccer every now and then, or football, if you will. Football.
You know, and I feel like I'm like the last person that you should talk about sports with, because like the only reason why I ever went to a football or basketball game was because I was in the band. And so that's kind of like,
I know.
You know, it is what it is. But I think it's really cool because the fact that I was able to like be there for all that kind of stuff was super fun. And I realized that I talked about this a lot last episode because Jamie started fucking interviewing me.
Yeah, Jamie became the interviewer. That was the most interesting episode. And it ended up being the longest episode of all time. And you know what's funny? It's ironic because in the beginning, he asked, like, literally his opening bit was, one of the first things he said was, how long are these podcasts usually? And we're like, oh, we try and go for like an hour to 2 hours. And then we proceeded to do 2 hours and 50 minutes, Zach.
Yeah.
Jamie is a wild card, I'll tell you what. So I'm really glad I had him, because I knew, even because he wanted to come on, but I think he was kind of like, I'm not sure what we talk about, as all guests are, but I knew after knowing him for so long, I'm like, dude, if there is a mic in front of you, it is just fucking nonsense, or not nonsense, sorry, that's the wrong word. It's just going to be chaotic as shit, because the way he speaks and the way his thought works, it's so crazy. He's like from another planet, I promise you.
Dude, it's so funny because like we would bring up a lot of things that made perfect sense to us, and he's like, yeah, I never really saw that in high school. And we're like, where were you?
I know,
like, where were you?
No, he's like from the future. And he's from another planet and in the future. So yeah, shout out to Jamie. It was a good episode. And
if you haven't seen that episode, go ahead and check it out on our channel. It's a banger.
It is a banger.
I understand if people don't want to sit and watch it all in one sitting.
I gotta tell you though, yeah, maybe not in one sitting, but man, if you're doing something, bro, that 3 hours, like the Bunny Girl Senpai for 3 hours, I found it interesting, but I can see how one may not stick around for as long, Jamie episode, no, you're gonna have a time from start to finish. I'll tell you what, it was a great time.
I think one of my favorite things too was the fact that we would kind of jump around a little bit, and then Jamie had like the forethought to kind of like backpedal a little bit, and so that really made it so that you could like keep a cohesive thought going while also going on tangents and like
But he also like let you or ask for more information.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when we talk, I realize, I mean, not that it's a bad thing, of course, but when we speak to each other, we already know each other a lot as far as like, not necessarily information wise, but If we let's say hint at something, the other person will catch on.
Yeah.
But not everybody would. But so if we do something like that, I would just be like, yeah, sure, and then we'll move on. But then Jamie just asks more questions to lead on to different answers. So that was very interesting. Jamie's he's an interviewer at heart, but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so for me, it was kind of interesting because like he was asking me a bunch of really in-depth questions, and like I found myself trying to make a conscious effort to not just sit there and talk the whole time, because it was like, Jamie's here. We're basically interviewing him, and so it's kind of like, I would like to make it so that he could do a lot of the talking as well. And so, that was kind of like I didn't really feel like I had to bite my tongue, but like I just kind of was very aware of how much I was talking.
No, that's fine. You should, I'm always thinking that as well too. That's why, I mean, that's kind of the point of it, right? You have a guest, and obviously it's a conversation with the boys first and foremost. But
yeah,
when there's a guest, you want him to or them to talk as much as they want to, because it's their time to talk. Maybe it's therapy session, like it was for a little bit for Jamie. Who knows, man? Or maybe something on their chest they got to say.
Yeah.
And we're just here just like, all right, be quiet. And then, all right, now you and I, Zach. No.
Yeah.
But that was good. That was a good episode. So anything new? Oh, man, I just finished this wedding video, man. And
oh, dude, I've been wanting to ask you about that, actually.
I'm basically done. I just had to add text in the end of like when they were married or whatever. I just asked them, but it was like, 6 a.m. So I was like, okay, well, I won't get to respond. And then I got to respond at 8 a.m. I'm like, all right. So I got to add that. I'll add that after this. Or rather, I'll finish Uned. I don't know which one I'll do first, but I got a long list. I got the to-do list stacked, Zach. We're fucking vibing. I cannot wait. But the wedding video, woo!
How did that process go? Because I know that you do a lot of, I guess a lot of like specialized editing with the stuff that you do. And so like, I was just kind of curious to see how that was different from like your normal day-to-day editing project.
Well, it's funny because you would think, right, that it's different, and it is very different in essence, right?
Yeah.
But after I've stopped editing COD as much, right?
Yeah.
And I started doing more things like IRL videos, PC videos, well, on Ed too sometimes, right? But whenever I decide to edit, which is happening more often now. The more vloggy type videos, like even the 2HC, even though it was basically, I keep bringing that video up, bro. Every single episode I bring up the 2HC video.
I have to say that video should be brought up because it's a banger. And I remember like you were so proud of the way that the first little bit, the first sequence.
I was so proud.
Like you were so stoked about it. And like I probably watched it when the video came out like 5 or 6 times in a row, just because it was like I knew how happy you were with it, and you showed me like the rough cut of it, and I was like, dude, this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. But like the videos, even videos like that where it was literally like the 2HC was literally editing Call of Duty, so it was kind of that area, but it was more personality based because it was just me and me talking and moments of me and actually doing a skit, if you will. But let's say for the editing part, not the skit part, there was also how to edit sound in together, because I've learned different cutting techniques, which kind of relates more towards a professional type of side, which is really weird to explain, but it's what's used all the time. Like, in like a YouTube video, for example, right? Let's say I'm talking, and then I'd say something again, and in between those 2 lines, you split them and put them together, right?
Yeah.
Classic YouTube content creator type shit. One thing I've started to learn is to actually just add these kind of pauses in every now and then and understand where these pauses would be.
Right.
Understand how to make the flow of his or her or the subject's conversation more natural, and then only cut when you need to, because maybe the pause is a little too long or the pause isn't necessary for the conversation. So learning things like that, so your communication skills better be fucking on par. I'm a 10 out of 10 in social communication skills, Zach.
Hell yeah.
Psych. But things like that. But one thing I learned is, instead of just slapping it together, kind of, it's so stupid to explain. I'd have to show you, but like, have the sound come in more, or come in before, and then cut visually. things like
Oh, I
that.
see.
So
Okay.
like if I'm
Okay,
speaking
it
and then
makes
I'm doing
sense.
this. So let's say I'm doing a sentence, right? I'm talking right now, and I paused, right? But I bring the audio back, and I'm bringing the next sentence in, and then I cut to it. What that does is kind of have this continuation of conversation without an abrupt cut, because you know the cut is there. And this is something I've learned. Actually, I already knew how to do this because I did this while in my video classes, and even so early as the ones in high school that I did with Jamie. Actually,
Right.
I already knew this technique in essence because I mean that's what they do in TV and that's what they do in a lot of things. And I was like, well, I can't. Oh, you know, especially in documentaries, they do that a ton.
Mhm.
Like let's say they'll have B-roll of something, and then the voicing will come in,
Mhm.
and then it'll cut to the person like talking like this, you know, right? So techniques like that. And then I was just like, and then I noticed that that's in a lot of YouTube videos that I watched because I don't really necessarily watch a lot of the the younger generation content creation, if you will, bars. But in the sense that I don't really watch like newer stuff, but rather
Bars.
but rather more professional things, like for example Linus Tech Tips and his editing production value and stuff like that. I take a lot from Linus Tech Tips editing. His editing team is nuts, and they're so good while adding personality and still making a professional style project. I think I have a lot of props, and I take a lot from his editing. A lot you can learn a lot from editing like that from tech tubers. Look it up, Marquez Brownlee editing, you know, stuff like that. It's very fascinating, and it makes me really happy to, you know, after editing Call of Duty for 6 years, to know that there's still more to learn. And that's another reason why I've been enjoying doing content creation of my own. One, I love doing it anyways, and I love streaming and making videos, like the whole that type of thing. I'm building the PC, for example. That was a lot of fun to shoot and all that, but editing it is so much different, and it makes me really happy to know that it is different, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because I've been copy and pasting for 6 years, Zach. Oh man, it gets really stale after a while.
Yeah, I can imagine. And so I'm sure that it's really nice to be able to do these kinds of like creative projects, like, you know, editing a wedding, doing the build videos, like all of that kind of stuff. And I guess I just have a lot of curiosity towards like, how does that kind of change your workflow when you're editing? Because like, you know, you are like one of the people, or one of the only people really, who I would go to be like, hey, listen, I want to know how to do this better. Like, I want to know how to edit this better, and like all that kind of stuff. And so like, it's fun to just kind of pick your brain about that kind of stuff.
No, I love
especially
talking
with, like,
about it.
especially with like wedding videos and those types of things, because that sounds like something I would do.
Yeah. It's a lot more different than you'd think. Like a lot more. Well, okay. So the flow that I ended up doing, like, it's not like I was just recording and then I put put like inspirational wedding music or something in the background, and then and had dialogue or anything, or not dialogue, sorry, but like their voice. It was actually more of like a montage. I went from like a highlight montage type go, and you can kind of do both. It depends, because you can have it where you have the mic strapped in on your camera, and then you record all the experiences and the conversations that's happening, right? And have that as a compilation, that as well. But you have to choose one or the other. You can't do both, because you can only shoot for one or the other. Because one of them you have to get closer and have the mic in proximity and stuff, and make sure you're capturing the right conversations. And then the other, you don't have to worry about that. You sit really far with the Zoomy Boy lens you let me borrow, and and just do montage type things. You know, record at 60 FPS, 120 FPS if you need to. I'm gonna say, all right, I thought this was fine until I realized it wasn't. Like, I recorded 1080 60, and then the project is then in 4K 24, which is fine. I just upscale and then sharpens, whatever, just for more scalability. I don't really care, even though it looks, 1080p. The problem is, though, 60 FPS, a lot of my shots are slowed down like 60ish, 70ish%. And technically, you would think 60 FPS, even if I drop it to 50%, that's 30 FPS now, right? On a 24 FPS timeline, that should be okay. But it's not. It was actually pretty choppy, because when you slow down 60 FPS video in half that has image stabilization it gets pretty wonky. And
Oh, yeah.
it gets pretty wonky. Like you wouldn't realize it, and you're like, oh, okay, this. I mean, it's not shaky, but it's inconsistent when you start slowing it down. Because what image stabilization is, it does stabilize it, at least in my experience, and maybe that might just be for my camera specifically. Who knows? It stabilizes the image if you're not punched in and super slow. If you're in normal speed, then it makes those micro adjustments. Like it makes a lot of micro adjustments right on the fly. So obviously it's going to be inconsistent unless you're using like a gimbal, for example, or some sort. And a gimbal would be like a tripod, but it's kind of fluid and it does not shake the camera as you move it, which is very cool. I really want one.
So, two things. First thing, so when you slow it down, I'm guessing you can kind of start to see the micro adjustments that the camera is making. And for two, they sell some really cool stabilizers and gimbals and like all of that kind of stuff. And I don't know if I want to turn you on to that because I feel like you're going to end up buying one and they're like $400.
I know. Well, there's some cheap ones, which obviously, you know, aren't the most ideal, but for someone like me who barely even shoots, like that's not on a tripod or, you know, anything else like that. Or if I were shooting, I would just hold it like for a vlog style type thing. I wouldn't mind as long as it's like, it doesn't have to be beautifully perfect. I don't shoot a lot of B-roll in my workflow, which I would love to. And honestly, even like a $100 to $200 gimbal would do better than my hand.
Yeah, that's true.
In theory, I would hope so at least. But yeah, the wedding video was a lot of fun. I'm not sure if I'll upload it to my channel. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how we're going to watch it. I think we're going to upload it to my channel and then we'll watch it, or I'm just going to bring the flash up. We're going to watch it on Thursday, actually, this coming Thursday. So later this week, we're going for Thanksgiving and they want to watch the video. And I was like, okay, so that's why I said, I don't know if I said it on here, but the deadline for this infamous wedding video that I was not working on or was taking way too long on rather. That's the story of why the deadline was coming up and I was stressing out. But it was like, you know, I knew I could bang it out like really, no, well, not quick, but like in a session. But it's kind of that idea of like, I have so many things to do that I need to get them done first. Not because of deadlines necessarily, but it's because you just have a massive laundry list of to-do things. And I've been doing my best to organize it on my phone because like I said, I'm still keeping up with the reminders thing. It's been very helpful. I recommend it, honestly. You give the reminders app, you have the default one on your phone. Don't do notes. Don't be a weirdo pussy. I don't know why I stopped myself from saying pussy. Like reminders app, it'll remind you it'll give you notification in the morning. You don't even have to have an alarm. It'll just, you know, just have it there and don't ever clear it.
It'll just pester you.
It'll just pester you and you'll see it and then you'll do it. And I am the type of person, first and foremost, I'm the type of person who goes with the flow all the time.
Yep. I'm
not a scheduled person. Calendar behind me, it has not been filled out in forever. You know,
it says January 2012 on it,
and literally nothing. You can't see it though, but you know you can see Megamine, so that's good. I really tried, and it was very helpful to have a calendar, but it's so meticulous that I just couldn't do it. So instead, I'm just opting now. The reminders app it's just so much more simpler. You put a task, you put a date. That's it. That you know. You don't have to worry too. It definitely has a bit more self-discipline because now there's no deadlines necessarily because I can totally just not do something and then do it another day. So it's definitely more disciplined. But if you can do it, at least to have something to organize your thoughts, I recommend it. Even for someone like me who's go with the flow type of guy. I've been having a lot of fun doing it, having fun here in the office, you know. And I've been a lot more productive. And I'm happy that I did it, but at the same time, okay, weird tangent, I'm sorry. It's like, let's say I say, Zach, you should watch ReZero. I know you would love it, right? And you're like, yeah, I'll watch it at some point. And then someone else was like, oh, Zach, you should watch this show. And you're like, oh yeah, I'll get to it. And then that keeps piling on. People keep asking you to watch this and watch this and watch this and watch this show. I'm like, okay, I'll get to it. And then now you're trying to watch one of the shows, and then people were like, "Oh, why haven't you watched my show yet?" Well, because I have so many shows to watch. What do you mean? And I want to watch a show, but there's so many shows to watch.
Yeah.
So I'm getting there. I really am, but it's taking too long. And it's that type of thing, right? Like you could sit down and crank the show out in a day if you really needed to, right?
Right.
But you have so many shows to do. So it's like, oh shit. And then along with the other things that you need to do, you only have a select time that you decide to watch the show. You gotta be in the mood for the show. You gotta be ready to sit down and spend a day for the show. And if you're someone like me who has something going on every single day, sometimes after you finish the things you need to do,
you don't want to do anything.
I don't want to do anything. I want to just lay on my damn bed and look up on my ceiling and enter the space-time continuum,
Yeah, just stare off into space and imagine a version of reality where you weren't so stressed out.
Play my gacha games, roll waifus.
So I know that we're going on a beautiful tangent right now, but I would love to kind of backpedal a little bit, because I know that I feel like I've talked to you about this before, kind of off camera, outside of the podcast. But I was just curious as to how you feel about like watching something that you made and like showing it to other people in person.
I love that. I love that feeling. It's the reason why I still edit Call of Duty to this day. Getting feedback and seeing people enjoy what I made, whether it be like a very simple edit that took me like an hour or two, or a long project that took me many weeks, maybe even months, and then seeing the comments and the feedback, and from both the whether it's the person I worked for, like for a commission, for example, the people who watch it, the comments from them, the organization, whatever it may be. I enjoy that so much because it makes me, I don't know, it makes me think that, I got to create something and someone got to watch it, enjoy it, and that may or may not have made an impact on their day or the way they think, maybe. Because I like to think that when I edit, and this is, again, not it's not my suck my own dick type thing, not some finger my own asshole type thing, right? Not some, lick the taint, my own taint type thing. What it is, it's just kind of like
I think you painted the picture.
What it basically is just that I know more than whether it be the average or the newer generation of not just Call of Duty editing, but gaming editing.
Yeah. And
that's not because I'm a god. That's just because I've been doing it for a long time, and I have a different mindset when I edit. Mm-hmm. I edit I use film production mindset. I use a film production mindset and a film production workflow whenever I edit. I think like that, not necessarily what are the coolest things I could throw onto this edit to make me look fucking super cool. Not that that's a bad thing, because sometimes if you have a skill set, you want to show it off, eh? I understand that. This is Editing Rant episode 2. Because I already did this before. But this is more of I always have a lot to say when it comes to editing, and I love speaking about editing. As much as it seems like I don't because I don't edit as much, I love talking about it. Whether it be Call of Duty editing, any type of editing, I love it. But when I make something for other people and people watch it, it makes me really happy. Because one, like I said, it might have made them happy and I get a lot of feedback, but it lets me know that, I can tangibly see that the work that I made is helping someone. And sometimes it's hard to make that understanding, or it's hard to create that establishment of you're doing something for society, I suppose, sometimes, because you don't see it in person. But for example, and this is a mindset that's really hard to do, but let's say you work a 9-to-5 job. These 9-to-5 jobs are important, but we sit here and I'm sitting here saying I never want to do one in my life, right? I don't ever want to sit in a cubicle and do that and do salary sales type shit, right?
Right.
Excel sheets and emails and membrane keyboards, and that's not what I want to do here, right? But
I stared down at my membrane keyboard sitting in front of me.
Well, it's a membrane keyboard that I pull from my keyboard stash that one has, as one does,
lying around.
But that even that type of job is important, right?
Right.
You got to crunch. You need those people to crunch those numbers, those accountants, those sales people, salary people. You know, those type of things. Those are very important, and they. As much as I'm sitting here trying to, you know, do this whole editing YouTube, Twitch type thing or whatever you may, you know, whatever that is to you. As much as I'm trying to do that, I'm not doing it in the sense that I'm belittling those who work at an office or whatever. No, that is not the case because they are very important. But the thing is, right, they don't get to see their impact.
Right.
They just do the work that's presented in front of them for 7-8 hours, and then they go home and chug a beer, you know, and watch sports, you know. And it's like, shit, dude. Now, it's not that this YouTube type of thing is a hard thing, because literally just last night I was watching this video from Linus, actually, speaking of again, and it was like a making of how Linus Tech Tips, or I guess Linus Media Group, his entire thing, makes 17 videos in 1 week. I don't know if you knew that.
What?
Well, they upload daily. They have like 5 different channels that uploads about, I don't know, maybe from once a week to 3 to 4 times a week. And it was this entire thing. The video was called like making a YouTube, or doing a YouTube business is easy, right? Or something along those lines, right? And it was a sponsored bit, of course, and it was about Monday.com, which is a organization type of software, which is actually really cool. And North uses a very similar thing, or we started using a really similar thing. Besides the point, sorry. It was just massive. It was stressful, and there was, you know, there was time crunches and deadlines and everybody making things. And then it cuts to like, and what the coolest thing ever was, like, it cuts from the behind the scenes freaking out to on camera stuff from the actual videos. And it shows them like all being calm and collected and being all funny for the video. And then it shows them freaking out in the behind the scenes and running around. So it also kind of humanizes them in a way, right? Where it's like this dream YouTube job that everybody wants to do, right? Is not just it's not just easy cash money float your boat type shit, right?
Right.
It's a job, and it's hard and it's taxing like every other job in the world.
Right.
It's just hard and taxing for different reasons. And that video was a really good showcase of how even a dream job like being a YouTuber can be stressful as fuck.
Well, dude, I mean, you look at vloggers, like daily vloggers.
Oh yeah.
And you know, they will sit there and tell you like, hey, this shit sucks, because from the moment I wake up until the moment I go to bed, I have to be constantly trying to create something, and I need to make my day exciting enough to make it so that I can make some content out of it. And I think a good example of that is Casey Neistat.
Right.
Excuse me. You know, he made beautiful videos, and like I think he was the one who really revolutionized the vlog game. Because, you know, he used to make movies, and like, you know, he was making videos in the early 2000s, and you know, he decided that he wanted to start a vlog, like a video log, where he made a video that he treated like a movie every single day. And when he stopped it after, I think, like 2 years or something like that, 3 years, he was like, that was the hardest shit I've ever done.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, it's not easy. And like, even like trying to maintain any type of schedule, no matter how tight it is, or like no matter how much it varies from like how many times you're uploading a week, or like, you know, whatever, trying to maintain that schedule is hard. Because not only do you have to be very, very efficient with your time, but also you have to constantly be trying to come up with new ideas. And, you know, as much as you would hate to think it, you know, there's only so many ideas that you can come up with when you're sitting there thinking, I have until the end of the day today to come up with an idea. And if I don't, then I'm going to miss an upload, which means I'm not going to be getting paid for it. Like, that's insane.
It is insane. It's scary. But there's a difference in those type of jobs from being a YouTuber and being a 9 to 5 worker, a cubicle worker, right? And I don't ever want, you really can't compare them as far as difficulty.
Right.
They both exist on their own spectrum as far as difficulty goes. But, just seeing that Linus video just really, I don't know. It was like, man, I already, it's funny because I already watched it. But and then I watched it again after knowing a lot more. And I'm like, holy shit. It'll really be like that. And sometimes, you think being a streamer, for example, is like, oh, they just go live and they just make a fuck ton of money to have people watch them be stupid or whatever. And then they go off live. But, you think behind the scenes of like some of the popular streamers sometimes. And it's just like their life fucking sucks. And then they put on this guise and then they, perform on camera and then they turn off the stream and then they got to edit sometimes the stream or figure out different things, give it to an editor to do it for them. Maybe if they're able to do that, if they are, God bless. Otherwise, or maybe even if they're really popular, then they have things like brand deals and meetings they have to do, sending emails and stuff. And it's like, oh, stop being a pussy, but no, it's like, it's really taxing. And sometimes, I mean, as someone who doesn't stream every day, I could not imagine streaming every day or even like more than 5 times a week. And it's like, Jesus Christ. And sometimes it's like before you even go live, you're just like, I don't want to go live, like, yeah. And it's not because you're afraid or anything, or it's not because at the end of the day, work is work, and sometimes if you just hit the live button and you just get going and you get an audience going and you'll have a time. And that's something I've begun to learn. And I think I mentioned this before, where it's like sometimes you just need to go ahead and put yourself into it instead of convincing yourself you're demotivated. Sometimes you just need to do it and then your creativity will flow. I believe in that. But it's hard to break that barrier at first. Because you're just like, right. I really don't want to. And it's not because I'm scared to. Oh, what if what I'm doing isn't going to be funny? What if my stream is not going to be funny? What if my stream is not active? Blah, 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 blah. Not that. No, it's just, fuck.
I really could not be bothered to do this right now.
I cannot be bothered. I would love to, and it's my job, and it's my dream job, and I love streaming. For example, if I'm a popular streamer, I love streaming. I would go live if I really wanted to, and I love to talk with my chat, my community, right? I love everybody. But holy fuck, dude, this start stream button is so, my hand does not want to press this right now because I could be, I don't know, it's eating, sleeping, reading manga, or I don't know, doing something. So it's like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
There's a big anxiety thing, or not anxiety. Sorry, not anxiety. That's not the right word. There's just this, as someone who does not stream every day, sometimes like I want to stream, and I will even say like on Twitter, hey, I'm gonna stream tonight, and then tonight comes and I'm like, fuck, dude.
Fuck. Yeah. And like I think something that a lot of people don't really realize is that when you're working like a 9 to 5 or you're working really anywhere, the work day ends when you clock out, and then you could just go home, relax, do whatever you want to do. But when you're dealing with social media, being a content creator of any kind, and being consistent with it,
you're working 24/7.
24 hours a day,
the
7
only
days
time
a week.
you do not work is if you're passed the fuck out. Good yawn. Thank you. Like, let's say you're a streamer, right? Let's go back to the streamer, right? Because let's say popular streamer man 34, right? Streams every day, but only streams for 2 hours every day. Oh, so he only works 2 hours, right? No, he has a persona and he has an internet persona. He has to keep this persona. He's on Twitter making sure he has this persona and this image of himself on his social medias, posting on his social media, so he stays active with his community, responding to his community, responding to potential sponsor deals, making sure that while he's responding to his community, he doesn't upset his sponsor deals.
Right.
And he has to think about this, and then also thinking about what he's going to do for his next stream and the stream after that. What games can I play? Do I have licensing rights for something? I want to try something different. how am I going to do it in a way that my audience is going to like it? Because I only stream NBA 2K and I want to try the new FIFA.
And also, you know, they have to tiptoe around the guidelines of these platforms and make sure that, you know, they don't upset Papa Twitch, you know, and you know, their entire channel could just be like Thanos snapped out of existence, and that's just kind of like the way of the land, and you know, it's really scary. But also at the same time, you know, you talk to people who don't know anything about streaming, they're like, oh, you just play video games all day. No, actually, I have to try to run my own business while I'm trying to make sure that I don't get canceled in the midst of cancel culture. And also I need to make sure that I'm able to make enough money so that I can eat and pay rent.
I am just trying to fight to stay relevant.
Yeah.
You know? That is the simplest way I can put of how to round up what it is to be a Twitch streamer. Staying relevant. The second you are not relevant anymore, you're done for.
You're just like...
Your job is gone.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
If you if you stream 5 days a week, and then you have a mental breakdown and you stop and you take a break for a week, and you come back and your viewership is cut in half.
If not less than that.
If not less than that.
Yeah.
And yeah, there'll be the viewers like, oh, you know, it's good that you had a rest, you know, you need to take your break. You know, there are viewers like that. There are other human beings who understand what I'm trying to get at. But there's also half of human beings who are like, oh, it's fucking streamer boy. No, I can't even play video games for 2 hours, because what the scariest thing is that if I'm following streamer man 57 and he is not streaming that day, there are other people, thousands of people on the same platform. I just have to choose a different stream. And then I follow streamer man 69 now.
69. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like...
And he never goes back to streamer man 57.
Yeah. It's like... The scary thing is that you can only do so much as one person, and you can only be so entertaining, and there's only so much that you can do, because it's like, you know, we're in the age of short attention spans and clickbaity thumbnails and like all of that kind of stuff, just to try to get people's attention. And then
long form media is just not really, it's hard to stick with, I suppose. It's a lot harder to grab an audience, I suppose, without already obtaining some sort of fan base, right? Because it's hard to have, let's say, even like a 10-minute video. It's hard to create a fan base from the ground up from 10-minute videos than it is from making some YouTube shorts.
Yeah.
Or TikToks or whatever it may be. It's like, how do you... It's a harder game because, you know, for shorts or TikToks, let's say that type of short form type of media, right? Like we've explained before,
Vine.
You only have like Vine was interesting because since it was only 6 seconds, honestly, sometimes you can just sit there and deal with it. You know, you can just be like, all right, I'm gonna just watch the whole thing and then move on. YouTube shorts or TikToks, you have like 1 to 2 seconds max to grab your audience before they swipe away.
Yeah.
And never see your channel again. Because the algorithm is always like, oh, you watched this YouTuber for this long and you swiped here, or you were scrolling and you stopped scrolling for something for like a half a second and then you continue scrolling. You like that channel? Oh, you swiped away from this channel, so you don't like this channel? Okay, we won't recommend them anymore. Blah, 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 blah. Algorithm, ones and zeros, things that we do, some things that are super above us. The magical daddy algorithm that we have to abide by, and if we don't, then we lose all of our money.
Yay.
Or what if I'm just chilling, I'm a streamer, Twitch streamer 50 billion, and I'm starting to make a living. I'm like, all right, this is good. I'm doing pretty well. We're doing a good job. I'm making money. I quit my job. I got partnered on Twitch. Look at me. And then one day, Twitch dies. One day, Twitch gets a lawsuit of some sort. And they get taken down. Twitch streamer 50 billion, whatever number I just said, just lost his job in 2 seconds. You know, that's the type of job you're living if you want to get into the content creation life. It's very scary because all of your eggs are in one basket. Or rather, well, that's why people say, like, you know, it's good to outsource, like, or branch out, because that's why, you know, YouTubers have begun streaming on Twitch, and Twitch started making like highlights on YouTube if they want to, you know, stuff like that. And if one dies, you know, don't, you know, like I just said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. But most of your eggs are going to be in a basket, and then you have a couple eggs in other baskets around the way. That's just kind of how it works. You can still grow out of, you know, the smaller baskets, and that's fine. I've seen it happen, and it's beautiful, and it's great. Shout out to that. Shout out to those people working hard. Chase that bag, sis, you know? But at any point in time, some nasty kid can just go over, nice, look at this basket, and then just take the basket with them and bring it home and launch it into the wall and smash all the eggs for fun. At any point in time.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that kid. Can happen at any point in time.
That's the scary thing too, is that you never really know when your career's going to end. And you know, like for me, a lot of the stuff that I do online is just kind of for shits and giggles. And like, you know, this is like the one channel that I've actually been consistent with, which is sad because, you know, I'm technically only partially running it.
That's okay.
But, you know, it's like I never really took it too seriously. And so, you know, obviously it's like, whatever, you know, I don't have a ton of subscribers or anything like that. And, you know, I have TikTok, it's TikTok, and it's just kind of weird. It's its own thing. It's its own beast.
It is.
I think
it is.
But yeah, social media in general is very, very hard to try to kind of like wrap your head around, because it's like you're trying to make it so that people who you do not know are invested in either something that you're creating or are invested in you. And the most valuable currency that anyone can ever give you is time. And so if people are willing to spend their time watching your stuff, then that'll get you higher up on the totem pole. And so it's really crazy. And like, you know, that's why when I talk to people who have watched the show before, you know, they'll bring up like an episode or something. I'll be like, "Did you watch that whole episode?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What?" You know, like they invested so much time into listening to you and I talk, which is a weird thing to think about. Like, you know, as much as we sit here and are like, "Oh yeah, you know, this is completely normal," and, you know, whatever. It's like, I don't know if I could ever sit down and have a conversation with somebody who I don't know for 2.5 hours.
I know, right?
It's like, I don't think that would be possible for me. But, you know, with the fancy schmancy, oh wow, production value, you know, it makes it so that it's more appealing to more people. But it's just weird. And we've had like a really, really in-depth like social media conversation before, and talking about like YouTube and Twitch and like all of that kind of stuff. But it's very bizarre. Very, very, very bizarre. And I don't really know what to do with like interacting with like creating content and all of that kind of stuff. Because like most of the content that I post on YouTube, it's just because I enjoyed making it, you know? And so it's like I don't expect people to watch any of the stuff that I create, and if they do,
Good.
I don't know why I'm so tired. If they do enjoy what I make, then thanks, BB. I appreciate you. But it's not like I'm chasing it, I guess.
Sure.
And there are other people who kind of have like a different perspective of like, oh yeah, there is this kind of like unattainable goal, not unattainable, but like this really far-fetched goal that I'm trying to reach. I'm trying to get to, 1 million subscribers or whatever that may be. And that's when it starts to get really hard, because like with content creation and with YouTube, Twitch, whatever, streaming, like videos, whatever, only so much of it is in your control. A lot of it is just luck, it sucks, because you can put so much time, effort, and money into creating something that you feel like is absolutely amazing. Like write a song, put it on Spotify. If it blows up, it blows up. You could put the same amount of effort into something, and then it could just never be seen by anybody. And that's just the gift of the YouTube algorithm, or the algorithm of all social medias. It's like, it's basically supply and demand. Because if there is a subgenre of videos on YouTube that is getting a lot of attention, then they're gonna encourage more of that because it's getting traffic to their platform. Then they're like, sick, let's just keep doing more of that. And so, like, you'll just start to see more and more of that one thing and that one game that's blowing up, like Fortnite, Valorant, Call of Duty Vanguard, like just the games that are blowing up, the games that are just released, people doing like open betas and all that kind of stuff, like them. It's just like it's so complicated, like it's so complicated to try to explain YouTube. And that's just YouTube. That's just one of the many, many different platforms that people use to make a living creating something. But yeah, it's bizarre. Jeez, I'm a mess today. It is a very, very, very bizarre topic to try to talk about with people who haven't been in it. Because like, this, I've had like 3 different YouTube channels, all of which have had 50 subscribers. It's like, I tried really, really hard, and then I tried not so hard, and now it's just kind of me posting whatever I want because I feel like it. I've been around the block a couple times. I remember in 2013 when I thought I was a Minecraft YouTuber on a laptop. It didn't work out very well. God, that was so bad. I hope that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I mean, did you delete the channel?
Oh yeah.
Then it's gone. I'm pretty well. I mean, it's not gone. Google has it in its archives, but it should be not on the platform anymore, hopefully. But I mean, I already explained it before, so I'm not gonna do it again. If you want to, you should watch that video about content creating or whatever, because I already had a good rant on it. I'm not gonna re-rant the same. I'm not gonna regurgitate the same thing. But it's like it's YouTube. The job of YouTube is Fortnite comes out or it gets really. Yeah, let's use Fortnite as an example because we're old people, right?
Back in my day.
Fortnite comes out, everybody's playing it. All our sub boxes is Fortnite, right? Every YouTuber is playing Fortnite. Whether it's for professionally, for fun, gaming with the boys, or they suck at shooters and they're going to be laughed at. Everybody's playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
Because it's the big thing. It's a big trend. All the big YouTubers are playing Fortnite. So let's say one day, and let's say it's a Wednesday afternoon, it's a Wednesday afternoon, Zach. It's got off of work, and you're ready to watch some YouTube. And you subscribe to 100 people total. And that day, from that point at 6 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon, 100 people upload one Fortnite video. Now it is up for you to decide on your sub box, you're scrolling super duper fucking fast, which one video you're going to watch.
Yeah.
That's the game that YouTube is. How are you going to make your Fortnite video be the one that that person clicks on instead of the other people's? Despite sub count, despite anything numerical or anything like that. Just you. How are you? You who doesn't have as many subscribers as this person, but you have more subscribers than this person. How do you get a video out and make them stop scrolling, go, ooh, click on it, and keep them engaged for at least 10 seconds so that they decide to keep watching and not just whoop, whoop, swipe your video back down, back to the fucking grave, and then keep scrolling. How do you do that? Because I play this game too. I feel bad. I subscribe to a ton of people and I watch 10% of my subscribers, max. And I always feel bad about it. But it's like, the way YouTube is that it's a buffet, and you just pick whatever you want. You create your own buffet, and you're like, oh, you know what? Today I'm feeling like mashed potatoes and chicken. But there's fish and there's seafood, and that's fish, and there's steak and there's spaghetti and pasta, and there's a different type of chicken
and fish
and there's a Mexican bar, and there's a salad bar, and there's fruits and there's vegetables.
And fish.
But I chose mashed potatoes and chicken.
Right.
For that night. And maybe I had mashed potatoes and chicken. I was like, damn, those are the best fucking mashed potatoes I had in my life. I'm going to go back and I'm going to keep eating those mashed potatoes and chicken. When you are spoiled with choice, it is hard it's hard to forget that every single person is working almost equally as hard as the next person. And if one person isn't working as hard, then you will see that, and their channel will reflect that immediately. That's how streamlined it is. And that's just the game you're playing here. In YouTube, you can have fun with it, and you should have fun with it. And I think most content creators who create content here are having fun with it, and they know to have fun with it, because if they don't have fun with it, then they're going to die. Every content creator that's successful knows not to treat their job seriously, because if they don't, they'll also lose their channel like that as well. They've got to do a balance of both. Have fun, recognize it's a business. You need both of them. You can't have just one or the other. I'm no longer a kid anymore who's like, I just want to upload for fun. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Kind of like, my channel how it is right now on Twitch right now. I'm just streaming to have fun and uploading videos to have fun, and I am. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I am. But I also recognize that if I don't play the game of YouTube, I'm not. It's gonna remain. It's either going to remain or get worse. It will not grow. It will remain or get worse. I recognize that as an adult. The fairy tale of just do it because you love it. Everything will work out in the end. Is gone. Not because I'm a depressed piece of shit, but because I've understood reality, and I accept reality. I'm not mad at it, because as I've said, if everybody can be a Twitch streamer, then Twitch streamers would not be as popular, and everybody would be a Twitch streamer. If everybody on Twitch, if you just went on Twitch, yeah, let's go. I'm going to be a Twitch streamer. You get partnered day one, and you get 100,000 followers and 50K subs in week one. If everybody could do that, then Twitch would not exist because it would be stupid. The people who are successful are those who work hard, and for those who treat their fun activity hobby at the end of the day also with the seriousness. Like you see the highest, like when the Twitch revenue stuff got leaked recently, and everybody's like, I think was it XQC who had who made the most money or something like that.
I think so.
I think so. Something along the lines. Let's just say for him, for example, right? Do you know who XQC is?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a funny guy he's super fucking popular, and he uses a damn Logitech webcam and a headset, and I don't know if he uses a headset, like I don't even remember. But he's just having a time, and he's built a community, and he's a funny guy. What that tells you, Zach, is that he worked hard to create his community, right? Oh wait, no, that's not the point I'm making. Sorry. So XQC, right? Or even Tyler One, right? Webcam Mike. He's a funny dude. He's a great creator and all that. Blah 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 blah. They see their revenue gets leaked, and all the little puny Twitch streamers like, oh, they make so much money. Why can't they? Why is it so hard for me to? And they're getting all mad at all these top Twitch streamers, and they're like, oh, they make way too much money. Yeah. Because they work hard, they create a community, they put their ass 24/7 and thinking about their job. Even everything that they do in life surrounds their job. If they want to go to the gym, that's to keep a damn healthy mental state and physical state so they can keep doing their job. Everything they do is for their job. They are thinking about being a Twitch streamer 24/7. They're dreaming about Twitch. They're dreaming about streams that they can have and collabs with their favorite other streamers, or who the fuck knows? I don't know. They're doing so much. So who the fuck are you to be like, oh, XQC makes way too much fucking money?
Right.
Why? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? This guy is. You know who XQC is? He's better than you, bitch. Shut the fuck up.
The amount of sass that
No, I'm pissed because I've never talked about this. This is the first time because it got leaked and I was like, oh, nice. Now and it's like, why? Why are you faulting someone for working hard? Because you couldn't work as hard. Because you gave up after not making it to some sort of arbitrary number. I was streaming, but I'm not really pulling as many views. I guess I'm just not cut out to be a streamer. They did that, and then they said, but I'm going to keep doing it. That's how you become a streamer, a YouTuber, a content creator. You do terribly, and you pull poor numbers, not ideal or anything like that. You start small, and you say, I'm going to keep doing this just because, 1, I want to. 2, it's fun. 3, I want to make this a thing. This is going to be my dream job. I'm not going to stop. I'm putting all my eggs in a basket. Same, using that metaphor again, except now I'm using it differently. I'm going to put everything to this. I'm going to keep my part-time job to make sure I have money to pay for myself, pay for rent and stuff. That's fine. But I'm going to keep sicking my ass on this thing until at some point I make a break. Take a break. Wait, make it. Hey, that phrase. I'm gonna catch a break.
Catch a break.
Yeah. Reel in the big fish. I'm gonna keep doing it until at some point it works out. But being a content creator, Twitch streamer, and that type of thing, it's a gamble. It is the hardest gamble you will ever do in your life. It is not no Spirit Mountain type gambling bullshit. You're not betting. You're not betting like part of your paycheck. You're betting your entire paycheck. You're betting your life, Zach.
Your livelihood.
Zach.
Your livelihood. Yeah, see that right there. Aggressive gestures. That's the reason why I am totally okay with the state of all of my social medias. Because I know that I cannot dedicate the time to be able to get to this hypothetical arbitrary number that I would like to be at. I know that if I put the work in and if I dedicated myself to it, I could get there. but that doesn't mean that I'm not happy with where I'm at right now. Because like, you know, I'll post a video on YouTube and some people will watch it. And I'm like, fuck yeah. You know, I'll post a TikTok, it'll get like 100 views. And I'm like, hell yeah. You know, we'll do the podcast. It'll get some people will watch it. I'm like, cool. That's awesome. And I've told you this 1,000 times, and I feel like I've said it on and off camera, but like, it's not that I don't care where this podcast goes. I'm just happy with wherever it goes. Like, I'm okay with it going to like Joe Rogan standards of professionalism and like all of that kind of stuff. I would be so keen to be a part of that. But also at the same time, I am content with it staying where it is. That doesn't mean that I want it to stay, because I want it to grow. I want it to change. I want it to develop. And, you know, I want it to become what you and I both kind of envision in the back of our minds when we see our magnum opus of this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm upset with where we are right now, because like, you know, we're doing the best we can with the things that we have. And this kind of stuff takes time. And you were talking about that as well. Like, you know, you can't just expect to hit 100K in a week. You know, you can't expect to hit 1 million in a month or two, you know. We're not Unis Honest. Do you remember that channel?
I do.
Good. You know, that was like a completely different thing. That thing, it was a unicorn. It was a YouTube unicorn.
Yeah.
And so, you know, stuff like that doesn't happen normally unless you are just very, 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 very lucky. And so I'm totally content with just being like, yeah, you know, we're just doing our thing. We're having a grand old time. I'm willing to put the work in to see that progression, but I'm also not like, you know, this is, for me, this is still kind of like something I do in my free time. And it's still kind of like a hobby. And stop playing footsie with me.
Well, stop being fucking tall, Zach. Jesus Christ.
You know, that's kind of like, I'm willing to put the work in to see the growth, but I guess I'm not necessarily like emotionally invested in getting to there. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So, you know?
Yes. It makes sense. But because we, on this channel, I spend a max of 2 days of effort on this channel, which are the 2 days we shoot. We shoot, edit, thumbnail, description, tag, upload, or schedule upload rather.
Yeah.
That day of, so that way I don't have to worry about it. If I dedicated every single waking moment to this channel, then we would see those skyrocket results. But that's not the point of this channel, so I'm not going to do that. Of course, like I said, I would love to Joe Rogan it up. That would be awesome. But Joe Rogan and his team puts a lot of fucking effort. Joe Rogan it's not just like, all right, let's go, and then they do it, and they're like, all right, later, nerds. Time to make, or rather, maybe it could be that. Maybe it's just a walk in, do things, leave. But it was definitely not like that at the start.
Right.
So I would love that, but I'd have to literally spend every waking moment thinking about this podcast and how I'm going to market it, where I want to put our funds, where I want to advertise it, keeping up with social media, because the only thing we do on Ed Twitter is tweet the upload. You know, get clips. Do I need to pay other people to help? And, you know,
yeah.
If I spend every single moment my eyes are open on this channel, then it will then I will have no doubt that I could find a way to raise my chances to potentially skyrocket this channel.
Right.
That's not the point of the channel. I'm not going to do that. I don't have time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time for that. I'm trying to make time for it, but it's tough, right? End of the year is like the toughest, busiest time for me. And I would love to, do stream more. I always wanted to stream more, but it's like, fuck, dude, I have so much shit to do. So, I'm trying my best to micromanage, organize, that type of thing. That's why I mentioned the reminders app thing. There is always time to do everything, but you have to sacrifice one thing to do another thing. And it's just like, what are you going to do? For me, I chose social life.
Yeah, see, I'm the type of person that tries to do everything and anything and take on a bunch of different things and suffer at the detriment of my health. And that's a part of the reason why I felt like there were certain things that I just could not feasibly do for the podcast. And my work schedule is chaotic. My schedule in general is very chaotic. And so it's like, there are certain things that I feel like I would not be able to do well with the time restraints that I have. And also the next couple weeks are going to be insane. In a week, like a week from Friday, I'm going to be shooting a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool.
Cool.
I'm tempted to buy a lens for that. But, we were talking about this last night, which I find really fucking hilarious.
Is this the wedding? Is this the first wedding you're going to shoot with your R6?
Yes.
Woo, baby. That buddy over there. What's good, bro? That's going to be a lot of fun. I bet it'll be fun. Yeah. Anyways, speaking of weddings, my wedding video.
So we started with the wedding video and then went down a content creation rabbit hole. But I think the question that I had that kind of unraveled everything was you showing your videos to people or like people seeing videos that you make and like all of that kind of stuff. And I guess I meant more so like the wedding video because you said that you were going to go. And
like physically see how people honestly, like, okay, so I would joke around like in the spot, like, oh, we're going to watch your video I'm at a family junction or whatever. And we're like, oh, we're going to watch your video right now. We're putting on the big screen. I'm like, oh, don't fucking do that. What are you doing? I joke around. In reality, I don't care that much because I'm at the point where I'm proud of my projects. And if they want to watch it, then they can watch it. It's not anything I'm embarrassed about. I mean, personally, if there's kids around, I don't recommend it, but
yeah, probably not.
Probably not. But I'll admit, I'll joke around, but in reality, I don't care that much. If I'm at the junction with a friend, like I've been at a friend's house, like have a little mini get together or whatever every now and then we'll just watch YouTube and they'll throw my videos. I'm like, all right, whatever. But in like, I'll just like, like, yeah, fuck you, bro. Friendly friend things, and then, but really, I'm just like, I don't care. I don't mind. Go ahead. If I really felt really weird about it, then I would say don't do that. But if I said don't do that, then what does that say about my content?
It's not good.
It's not good.
Yeah,
I'm proud of my content.
Yeah, because you should be, because your content is good.
Well, no, the way people view their own content is that it's shit. My content is shit. I'm not good at my work. I want to be a Twitch streamer, YouTube video, but I don't like my YouTube videos and streams.
When I did oh god, where'd that thought go? So when I did the video, the celebration of life video, I feel like I told you about that for my grandpa, and I also did one for my uncle as well. When I did those videos, I was very proud of it because basically all I did was edit it together, and it was just like, oh yeah, this is fun. Woo.
Mm-hmm.
This is fun and really sad. But when people see like just the stuff that I posted on my YouTube channel and just like random shit, like my dad, I went downstairs one day and I just saw my dad watching the Chubby Bunny video that I made with Alec.
Oh geez.
And I was like, why? Because it's like, when I make those types of videos, I don't really think about the concept of my parents watching them because it's just like they have showed no desire in like seeing the stuff that I post on YouTube. And which, by the way, you know, if my parents are watching this, I love you both. But it's like when I'll see like the Chubby Bunny video or like the stream highlights video where it's just like some raunchy shit is in there and my parents are watching it and they're just like, why did you say that on the internet? And I'm like, that's a good question. I don't really know. It's like that type of situation makes me feel like a little bit weird about other people seeing my videos, like especially if I'm there. But like, you know, if it's just like you know, videos that I'm in where it's just kind of like, you know, like the podcast. I love when people tell me that they're watching the podcast or like I show them the like the trailer that we made. You know, they're like, "Ooh, I want to watch that." I'm like, "Yeah, do it. It's fun. It's lots of fun." You know, that kind of stuff is a little bit different from my personal channel because that's just like a library of a bunch of weird shit. And I kind of started using my channel more recently as just kind of like a guinea pig to just kind of see how I could make things work, how, you know, testing different camera or like video audio stuff and like, you know, just kind of being able to have like a tangible thing like this is how I did this and this is what it looks like. This was the end result of that. There's not a ton of effort put into those usually, like the Bo Burnham one that I did. That one wasn't like a ton of effort. I just kind of did like a digital zoom and it was in camera audio and it sounded kind of weird, but you know, it's like I'm not putting a ton of effort into it because I'm testing it very deliberately. Like the stuff that I'm posting on my channel is me testing things to make better stuff for my channel or for other projects that I may be working on. And also the fact that I started posting covers and stuff on YouTube, I'm still kind of surprised that I did that. Because that was like the scariest shit. Like that was one of those moments where I did not want to hit upload. Like the first cover I posted, I was scared shitless of that. And then I did it and it was great. It was fun. And people watched it, which surprised me. You know, but I don't know where this tangent was going. I lost it. I don't know why I'm yawning so much.
Yeah. We're just really boring.
No. I don't want you to think that we're boring. I think it's just that I did not sleep well last night.
Oh, I didn't either. I didn't sleep.
Like at all?
I got a couple hours before you came in.
Yeah, I think we're slowly losing steam. We started off like so hyped and
no, I'm chilling. I don't really care. I'm vibing. I got a little bit of sleep, so I'm chilling. I just think I don't know. Whenever you see it more in the editing space, I suppose, where people are like, make a COD edit, and then they scrap it, and they're like, and then they tweet it, and I'm like, all right. I look at my shit edit, and I'm like, I'm not going to. But that's what they do, and then they get a bunch of likes, and like, wow, I can't believe you scrapped it. And I'm like, yeah. And then, you know, they feed their own ego like that. Yes, I'm calling them out because there's no way to put it lightly. You're just trying to feed your empty ego. Because if you scrapped something, then that means it's garbage. Why are you showing it? Right. I think the term scrap, because a term scrap is a COD editing type of term of like, I scrapped an edit because the person who commissioned me or the team or whatever went under or something, or the project just didn't work. But normally it'd just be, I didn't like how it turned out. Didn't like how it turned out. Well, I'm going to show everybody. No. You show everybody because you liked how it turned out. Enough to show people.
Yeah.
So it's not a scrap. Call it a mini edit that I didn't finish. Don't call it a shitty edit that is because every time I see a scrap on my timeline, it's a fucking banger. I'm like, nice, good shit. And that's fine. You could, that because that's subjective. You're your worst critic at all times, and that's fine. You should be, right? You should be very critical of your own work. But if you deem this project you made shit, and I've made entire videos and never uploaded them, edited all that, and I've never uploaded them before. I've done it before. You know, It happens. It's all good. I'm there.
I've done that a lot of times.
Exactly.
Actually. Yeah.
Point in case, I didn't upload it. I didn't upload it because I didn't like it. Why am I going to upload it? Yes. So why tweeting it is just uploading it, and just in a different platform or whatever it may be. Tweeting it, putting it on Instagram or whatever. Check out my shit. Hey, I'm shit. I'm garbage, bro. Don't follow me. And then they try to think of it's some kind of reverse psychology type bullshit. No, you're just a Debbie Downer motherfucker, bro. Listen, if you didn't like your edit or whatever, don't put it in the fucking recycling bin and empty that bitch. If you can't do that, then you didn't not, or if you have a scrap and you can't put it in the recycling bin and empty it, then you actually like your edit.
Right.
You like it enough to not delete it.
Yeah.
Don't tell me but it's a learning thing, and I'm gonna look back. No, you're not gonna look back, and you're gonna put it in a fucking hard drive and never think about it ever again. Or you will think about it ever again. You know why? Because you like the edit.
So it wasn't garbage. So you didn't scrap it. It's not a.
Where's my camera? If you make an edit, I'm leaning forward now, and you call it shit, and you put in the description, shitty edit, scrap number 157. If you make an edit and you think it's garbage, why did you tweet it out? Why did I see it? If you don't like your edit, that's fine. There's tons of, not even just me, there's video, like people, like content creators all the time, right? They say, there's plenty, like I've made a whole video and scrapped it because I didn't like it at the end. I thought it was going somewhere, but I looked at the final product and I didn't like it. That's fine. They say that, and we've never seen that fucking in video. You know why we never seen the video? Because they didn't fucking tweet it. If you make an edit, a Call of Duty edit, and you scrap it because you don't like it, or you're going to restart the edit, that happens too. That's fine. Don't tweet it. Put it in the recycling bin and delete it. If you can't put it in the recycling bin and delete it, it was not shit. You liked it. You liked that edit. You just wanted to call it shit so you can reverse psychology some people saying, oh, it wasn't shit, it was good. And you'd be like, and you're farming likes and shit. Calling you out. You know who you are. I'm not talking about no call edit anymore at this point. No, I'm talking about, I'm calling everybody out. Zach, the content creators in my space, Call of Duty content creators, directors, gaming content creators, they tweet a video. Maybe they didn't even scrap it. But then they have a video or whatever, they upload it, and they say, oh, by the way, I don't know, I wasn't really feeling this video, it wasn't really that good, I wasn't really full energy, so keep that in mind while you're watching it. I'm not, yeah, if it wasn't, then don't upload it. If you can't take a whole ass fucking project, Zach, and put it in, and you can't put it in the recycling bin and delete it. If you can't do that, then you liked the project.
I wish I could tell you how many times I've done that, not only with videos, but also like entire photo shoots I've done. I have literally just deleted everything because I was like, this is a hawk of shit. I cannot find one good thing that I like about this. So let's try again. Luckily, it hasn't been paid because I don't think that would fly very well.
Okay, that's a bit different. Yeah, sure.
But, it was one of those situations where I was like, I fucking hate this.
Well, here we go. Let's say you do a photo shoot and you like the photos, but you finish editing the photos and you look at them like, these aren't that good. I can re-edit them.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the example I'm giving, because Call of Duty editor, man, girl, 67, gets commissioned for an edit, makes an edit, finishes the edit, looks at the edit. That wasn't that good. Restarts. Tells the person who's commissioned, hey, I be honest with you, right? But be honest with them because they will understand. If they don't understand, then they're just shitty people. And you just have to deal with them. But they will understand. They'll be like, hey, listen, and this isn't for every single job. This is code editing in general, right? Hey, I made this video. I finished your project. And you might like it, but I don't think it's that. I don't like it. So I'm going to restart and get you something better. Give me some time. If you need to deduct my pay, then, do what you got to do. But I think I can do something better here. So do that. And then take that entire project that you decided to scrap. And instead of putting it in a tweet and hitting tweet, you put it in the Windows recycling bin. And you right click that bitch and say empty recycling bin. Or maybe keep it until you finish the edit because you don't want to redo the project. You make a new project file and then put the clips in and then re-put in your songs in and sound effects. Okay, that's a bit redundant, but okay, finish the project and be happy with it. All right, cool. Here it is. All right, get paid. Take that old bitch, put it in the recycling bin and empty it.
This bitch empty.
This bitch empty. Yay! Oh, I do it towards your camera. My bad. I didn't mean for that. But it's okay because I'm going to assume that an empty soda can can't knock down your R6. But anyways, I'm going to say it one more time for the camera. If you make a project and edit a video, Call of Duty edit, Fortnite edit, Vanguard, Val edit, your Call of Duty cut com, your keyboard video, your cooking show video, your IRL vlog, and you don't like it. Don't tweet it. Don't tell me it's shit. Don't preface that it's shit before you even upload it, or when you upload it, don't tell me that it's shit and you keep in mind that it's shit. Don't do that. If you can't put a project that you scrap or you think is bad in the recycling bin and empty it, you liked the video. You liked the video. You liked the project. You liked the end product. At least enough to not scrap it. Don't tell me no. Oh, it's just a learning curve. I'm gonna look back. No. No, you're not. You're not gonna look back on it. If you don't like the video, delete it. If you can't delete it, you liked the video. That is all, Zach.
There's Sprite on my camera.
Is there?
Yes.
Like on the lens?
No, not on the lens, like on the body. I can see like a water droplet.
You can? It was empty. Oh, I apologize.
Bro, what the fuck? Anyway.
You can go wipe it if you want.
Yeah.
Just go wipe it, Zach. Go ahead.
All right.
Anyways. So, with that being said, do I hate... Yep, nice. Do I hate...
Jesus Christ.
What did I do?
There's just Sprite everywhere. 7-Up everywhere.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Jesus.
That's okay. Just get your camera and you're chilling. Do you want isopropyl alcohol?
Yes.
It's in there. Over there. Under the desk, underneath the PC. Yeah, go ahead. All good. So, anyways, while Zach gets nitpicky and cleans his fucking shit, what I did not want out of that rant was for you to think that I'm some critical asshole who thinks he knows everything. Oh, it might not be there. It might be in my bag. Oh shit. Okay, well you can just I don't know, maybe spray Windex on a napkin. Sorry. Anyways. What I do not it's so jarring, I know, it's weird. Don't worry about it. Anyways, so what I'm not trying to say is that I'm some sick nasty editor who knows everything and you should follow everything that I say. No. But I think what I said makes sense. If you don't like something, then throw it away. A lot of people are afraid to hit the undo button and the delete button. Sometimes if you're just not vibing, you got to hit the delete button. It's just what's got to happen. Hit the delete button. There's nothing wrong with it. And frankly, sometimes the delete button is just a band-aid that you just have to rip off your skin, Sometimes the delete button is just a needle that is the cure for your virus. Topical, I know. And you just have to deal with the pain in order to live your life and just get over it. Because I promise you hit the delete button and you work on something and you enjoy it and you forget that you even had another project. So do not think that you are worse than you are, because everybody creates things that they don't like. Everybody makes things, and it may not be up to their personal standards. You might upload it, and then the comments and your followers or whatever, they'll enjoy it, and they will enjoy it. They will genuinely enjoy it. But to your standards, you might not enjoy your project. That's okay. That is fine. I think maybe what you needed to hear is me tell you that it's fine to not like your work, because you should only make things that you're proud of. And sometimes you're not going to make that thing that you're proud of every single time. Sometimes the thing that you create, it will be shit to your standards. But, to other people's standards, they'll hit the sub box, and if they're a really good fan, they'll watch the video and they'll like the video and they're like, hell yeah, bro, and they'll go on with their day. To you, you might think it's shit. If you think it's shit, don't upload it. That's all. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I feel like what I'm saying makes sense. If you cook something for yourself, Zach, and you burnt the ever living shit out of it, right?
Right.
But you made it for someone else, and they're like, but they'll eat it anyways because they enjoy you and your company, and you made it for them, and they're grateful for that. That's how that works. But
no, remake that shit.
You remake that shit.
Remake that shit.
You burnt the ever-living shit out of this chicken. If you serve it, they're going to eat it out of spite because they enjoy you and yourself. But if you think that this chicken that you burnt the living shit, it's black, Zach. It's charred to shit. You look at it and you go, this was not a good. This was bad. I did a shit job. I'm gonna feed it to them anyways. No, Zach. You toss that shit, you cry, and then you re-barbecue it.
I love how you preface you throw it away, and then you cry, and then you do it again.
You do that shit again. You remake it. You recook it. You rebake it. You re-barbecue it. You try a different recipe. You do something different. Maybe you don't make chicken. You make pork now. I don't know.
Fish.
Pasta. Fish. You're really trying this fish gag, Zach.
I don't know. It just keeps becoming topical, and I just keep saying
it does. Good. You make fish instead, and then you make it good, and then you like it. Good job. And then you serve it, and you made a good fish. You made a good food, Zach. You did a good job. Good job. And that chicken,
a good food.
You made a good food, and that chicken that you burnt is sitting in the bottom of the garbage bin where it belongs. You don't put it in the garbage bin and then you stick your whole ass arm into the garbage bin through the dirt and the grime and the gunk, then you pull it out and you put it on fucking Twitter. What? Why would you do that? What's the point in that? What is the point?
There is no point. It's just them stroking their own ego.
That's what it is. It's saying, "Oh, I burnt this chicken, but please give me likes because I want it, so I know that I didn't do it. I didn't do the worst job in the world. No, you did do the worst job in the world. Own up to it. You burnt this chicken. It's shit. If Gordon Ramsay was here today, he would berate you and your family and the chicken's family.
He would call you an idiot sandwich.
An idiot? No, he would do more than that, Zach. Because there's no camera rolling. Gordon Ramsay, no, off camera. That's what he would do to you, Zach. Because that's what that chicken you cooked deserves, Zach. Because it was shit. Does that mean I'm criticizing you, Zach?
Mm-mm.
No. Because if you presented this chicken on a plate and you gave it to me and you looked me in the eyes and you said, "This is what I have to offer," I would say, "Okay, thank you," and I would eat it. But what you can also do is take that chicken, incinerate it. Maybe not incinerate, I don't know. Put it in your garbage bin and then yeet it down a field. Don't do that, actually. Please leave your garbage in the garbage bins and then have it properly taken care of by garbage men and garbage trucks. Anyways, you take that shit and you yeet it across the fucking football field. Again, please do it properly. And then you make a different dish. You make the chicken again. except you try something a little different so that it doesn't burn again. I don't know. So that it tastes better. You make your chicken, maybe it's not even burned, Zach. It's a little too salty. You ever have food cooked for you, Zach, and they're like, oh, it's a bit too salty this time around, and you eat it and you're like, yeah, but it's all good. I'm gonna eat it anyways.
Yeah.
That is the product of someone making something. It's not that good. They own up to it. They present it, and I'll eat it anyways. That's fine. But what could also happen is that they make this food. It's kind of shit. They're like, no. Give me another hour. Let me make it better. Or let me change something to it and make it better.
So it would be entirely different, and I think I'm reading too much into the food example, but
food example is very different from the Call of Duty example. I was trying really hard. I felt like I had the tie and then I lost it.
No, it's okay. But like even if like, you know, if you're like, I would love to hear your feedback on this chicken, and you're like, hey, it's a little salty, and you're like, okay, thanks, I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna go in the back and make another chicken, and I'll be back in like an hour. So like if you present,
or rather, not even in the hour, just like the next day when you make chicken for that same person again or whatever.
Yeah, like asking for honest feedback is different from asking for validation. Like,
yes.
Instead of just being like, oh, this edit was shit. I am the worst editor in the whole world. I fucking hate myself. And then they post a banger, and then all the comments are like, I don't know why you thought it was shit. You did such a good job. And you're like, yay. And you know,
you're like, thanks. That's how I imagine they are. That's how I imagine they sound like.
Yeah. Instead of that, you could say, hey, I would love to hear your feedback on this. Present it as it is, or do nothing with it. Put it in the recycle bin. Empty it. Start again. Or take what you have, fix it, change it, turn it into something you like. Manipulate it until you're happy with it. Don't just fucking post it on Twitter. There was a hair on my mic.
It's always the hair on the mic's over there for whatever reason.
I don't know.
Zach.
Yes.
I think that's all I got.
Yeah, I figured that you were kind of getting close to the end there. I'm glad that you got to kind of air that out a little bit.
Have an editing rant number 2. Basically.
I think you needed it.
I think I did need it because I say it all the time. But I feel like I don't think people understood that I mean it when I say all that. So let's just say for the people, right?
For the people.
For the people. For the people.
For
if
the
you
people.
Want, if you make an edit and you scrap an edit,
mm-hmm.
you can do 2 things. Or there are 2 things you should do. You put that bitch in the recycling bin and delete it, or you upload it and see what the feedback is and figure out where to build from that.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was trying to say, is that you can either delete it and say fuck it and start again, or you can present it without the pretext that you are unhappy with it and ask for feedback. Because if you like, it's different if I ask you for honest feedback on something rather than I think this is shit, but here you go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like those are 2 entirely different things. Because if you're sitting there like, all right, this is what I have, this is what I got, you know, this is what I got in the allotted time, here you go. And then you sit there and say, that was really good. I think there are certain things that you could change about it, but it was good. Then they're like, oh, okay, thanks. But if you're like, this is shit, this is the worst edit I've ever done, and then they see it and it's good, then they're like, they'll sit there and try to console you like, oh, why did you think it was so bad? You're such a good editor. You know, just sitting there stroking the ego. Like don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. See this thing that you're doing right now? See this thing that you're doing right now? Stop it. I don't know why I'm playing with a lens. I needed something to fiddle with, and now I'm fiddling with a lens that normally goes right there, but it's in my hand right now.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Dude, I wasn't even looking at you. I was looking at the TV.
Nice.
Also, by the way, there's like a TV like right there. I was looking at the TV and all I saw was just this motion. And I was like,
Come on, Zach. Come on, Zach. I have a little bit more self-constraint than that. Give me some credit. So, I want to thank you all for watching. You thought I was going to go into something. No, I'm done. My brain is fried. I feel like if I had to say anything else, it would literally be the same exact thing. So yeah, that's all I got. You have anything to say, Zach?
I don't know.
You have anything more to add? For me, I'm done.
I mean, you know, if you're not confident in something, that doesn't mean that it's bad.
No. Well, maybe it does mean it's bad for your standard, and that's okay. The point is that it's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to preface that it's bad. It's all about reference, frame of reference. If I never told you that if I said, or you came here, Zach, and you look at my shelf and you're like, oh, that's a cool shelf. If I never told you that the top shelf is bulging out an entire inch, you would have never noticed it.
Why did you tell me that? I'm never going to be able to forget that.
That's what I'm saying. It's all about reference. Reference is what, or not reference necessarily. Reference, yes, but relevance, relativity. Right. When you're given a reference point, you understand where you're coming from. You understand the difference between one from another. That's why when you watch things like reviews or whatever, they give comparisons. If you just have a review of a microphone, nice, and that's it, you don't show any comparisons to the other microphones, you would be and it's a good mic, it's like a decent microphone, you'd be like, that's a good microphone. But without presenting better microphones, you would have never known. If I never said that, trying to think of another example. No, that's just the best one I got. If I had a microphone review and I showed you the microphone and I talked in the microphone the entire time, I never spoke with another microphone, I literally just used this microphone and I ended the video with this microphone, that's the only context you have to this microphone. You don't have any comparisons, you have nothing else. So naturally you'll think either it's a good microphone or a bad microphone. Or frankly, you'll just say that's a microphone. That's a good microphone. I will buy this microphone. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. Just point in reference, I suppose. Point of reference, that is. That is what you need in order to understand the things. If I just said, Zach, 3600 is good, you'd be like, or the Ryzen 5 5600X is great. You'd be like, okay, thank you for this, I guess. And that's all you get. You wouldn't know where to go from there. Or rather, you wouldn't know, okay, well, what's better than that? What's worse than that? You don't have this frame of reference to understand where your standpoint is. Mm-hmm. You're fighting, or you only know one part of the equation, and you're trying to find the end result.
Right.
That's all I'm trying to say. If I never said that this edit is shit, or any preference at all, let's say I never did anything like that, I just uploaded the edit, and I said, hey, just uploaded today, then there will be no pretense of how I felt about this project. If I recorded a video, and an IRL video, and I had a lavalier mic, because this happened, and it died, So instead, the entire video, I did this. The entire video, I use the microphone on the camera, and I never mentioned that I had a lavalier mic in general. And I never mentioned, or I might mention there was audio issues, or I don't. Let's say, for example, I don't mention there was audio issues, and I just enter the pretext that instead of saying, "Oh, you know, the lavalier mic died. Sorry about that," you know, and that's okay to do. That's a little different than what I'm trying to get at. But let's just say I don't. Then the entire time you'll just have the only frame of reference you'll have is the microphone that was on the camera. So that's what you'll judge off of. And if it's all right, then it's all right. That's all. That's all there is to it, Zach. I'm losing my point. I'm losing my mind. Because there's a bunch of children, Zach, chillin'. There's a bunch of children who don't know the difference between improving oneself and stroking their own cock. So I would like you, the children that I'm looking at. Oh, the children that I'm looking at. So think about that. And if you're saying, "Hey, fuck you, I'm not like that," I never said no names, Zach. No names were brought up, which means if you felt any type of particular connection to what I said, that means you have associated yourself with one of these children. You yourself are one of them. I never said you are. You confirmed yourself to be one. Thank you, everybody, for watching. There's links in the description. You should click them if you want. Socials, Patreon, not there, coffee. Anything you'd like to say, Zach?
Yeah. Things are good. We have 3 cameras. Did we mention that before?
No. We have 3 cameras. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Smash the like button. Make sure you ring that bell so you get notified. This is me shooting the like button.